We're live, Corey. You didn't do the countdown. Oh my god!
Hey, what's up, boys? Figure we get a cold open here.
I love it.
Guess what, boys? We're live.
Oh my god!
All right, we're live for real this time. We were live for real the last time, but I just thought I'd give you guys a little Saturday Night Live type open.
It was something.
Not on purpose. Yeah, it was something. I'll tell you what threw me off. We had this list of destinations, and the Ole Miss After Dark Twitter account, it won't go live, and it gave me a little like pop down message. I was like, "Oh crap, what's going on here?" I had my cursor over the countdown too. That was the crazy part. Missed it. We're off the rails already.
Man.
SEC After Dark. Welcome in, everybody. Thankfully, it's July. Fall camp is right around the corner. We have some coaches that may be on the hot seat. We'll talk about that. Before we get into that, Stephen Willis, Jake Thomas, Jeff Beecham join me. How's it going, boys?
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a day.
I hear you, Steve, and probably in a much different way, but it's been a day for me too. Today is a day that I'm glad that I'm not an appliance repairman or deal with appliances at all.
Had some of those going out on you?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Washer and dryer.
Oh,
Yes. So
much needed items in your house.
much needed items and much needed service that's well worth it to pay for.
Right.
So, shout out to all you appliance repair guys. I don't know how you guys do it or have the patience to do it. Those things, as simple as they seem, are frustrating, to say the least. But I'll tell you what's not frustrating is having a phenomenal sock game. Make sure you go to Dead Soxy to do so. You can support Ole Miss NIL. You've got a range of socks. It's not just NIL. It's not just Ole Miss socks. You can get the Lane Train socks. You can get the beer pong socks. You can get the standard Ole Miss tube sock. But you could also get plain styles as well, like this 1985 style tube sock there with the white and with blue stripes. And you can get all kind of styles and color schemes and whatever your heart desires. You can buy them, get them set up for your week so you can have 7 days worth of elite sock game. If you want to get more than that, by all means, what you need to do, you probably will want to get the membership and get that 25% constant discount along with free shipping when you buy your socks. So make sure you do that and make sure you visit deadsoxy.com. And as always, stay soxy, my friends. And there are no lines tonight, but if we did have lines, we go to betonline.ag for those betting lines. They have everything. If you want to bet MLB, you can. The Tigers seem to be falling apart. The Braves have already fallen apart.
Yeah, they had a team meeting today.
Yep.
Or yesterday.
I guess we'll see how well that went.
Yeah.
We are putting into the ether, and we are trying to get good vibes that Tarek Skubal goes to the Baltimore Orioles for 3 or 4 hitting prospects.
There you go.
We'll put that into the ether.
That is the ether that we are going with right now. I'm hoping for Jackson Holiday. I'm hoping for Connor Norby. I'm hoping for those guys to be coming to Detroit.
You're not getting Jackson Holiday, but
He might.
big of a prospect. I don't know.
Gunnar Henderson's that shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that would be a massive win if you got Holiday.
But Tarek Skubal, he is probably the best pitcher in the American League, and he can be traded with 2 years of control.
Huh.
Okay, you might have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to bet MLB or anything in the MLB, betonline.ag has it. And if you're not into betting and you're not into sports betting, if you want to visit their casino, you can do that as well. Play some slots, blackjack, poker, whatever floats your boat. So betonline.ag, the game starts here. Steve, do you want to tell us about Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles?
Well, it's time to get locked on pickles, everybody. Stewart's Cajun Pickles, that is. They offer a wide variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots and asparagus. They're a family-owned company on the coast of Mississippi. They've been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years, and they have become the South's favorite pickle. Them being a small business, they keep the produce fresh, so the pickle product can be extra crispy and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at pickledstore.com or at your local Gulf Coast Rouse's Market. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle.
All right. So
Yeah.
make sure you enjoy those pickles. Make sure you enjoy the other produce that you have, man. There's a lot of great stuff out there for you guys if you like pickle products. I would highly recommend. So,
Before we go, just a little brag. Me and Jeb got product last time. I'm just saying.
Nice.
It's true.
Yeah.
well, you got product at the meet and greet, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I brought it back to Jeb because Jeb lives 100 yards from me.
There have to be some advantages. I'm just kidding.
There is some definitely good advantages there. So this episode is the first of a triple header for me tonight. So this is going to be fun. I was drinking my Coke Zero to get hyped up for my triple header. I got Believe in Georgia Dogs right after this, and then Locked on Vandy right after that. So it is truly a triple header, but it starts right here. So guys, fall camp is right around the corner. I believe Wednesday starts it for most. A week from today, actually, starts it for most programs. I think, if not within a day or two before or after the 31st. So I know Vandy starts it then. I think Georgia starts it then as well. Storylines are aplenty. There's plenty of new quarterbacks around. There's plenty of new schemes, new coordinators, new coaches, things like that. I know Texas A&M is gearing up. They're getting ready for the Mike Elko era, which I think will be a really good era for them. If they can stop being weird, I think they can win something. I'm excited to see. We got coaches on the hot seat. Sam Pittman being one of them, but also a really good storyline is how him and Bobby Petrino will coexist. Talon Green as the QB, how does he fit into that system? That's going to be interesting over there at Arkansas. And Jackson Dart, I think he's just trying to win the starting job, right, Steve?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what's happening.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I knew I nailed that.
Yeah. You got this whole SEC football thing down.
Yeah.
Down
Mr.
pat, baby.
Mr. Vanderbilt. Speaking of Mr. Vanderbilt, do you have a Vanderbilt Insiders program yet?
I don't know what you mean by that, so probably not.
Okay. Well, it's coming, probably.
Yeah, probably so.
Low mystery. I like it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little mystery even for me. So I
That's
guess
my
problem.
that's the subtext.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll be sure to jump on that. So when we finish here, Steve, you should show me that. But anyway, so what's the storylines down there at Bama, Jake? It's the development of Jalen Milroe. Is that the lead topic everybody's talking about? What's the buzz over there on Tide Talk Live?
Well, I think the biggest buzz coming into fall camp is, we really don't have a established corner, on this team. Damani Jackson's there, but even at USC, he kind of struggled. And it might have been the guys around him. He didn't have really good guys around him, or it might have been the scheme that they was running. But, he's got a lot to prove. And then on the opposite side of him, you may have a true freshman that comes in and takes the job and wins it. So, you have, kind of a situation there you need to keep your eyes on. But other than that, the secondary is pretty much, got a lot of talent there. So it's just going to be young on the corners. And that's where I think the focus is going to be at fall camp is figuring out who those corners are going to be to start the season.
Well, you replacing a couple good ones, so
Yeah.
that's Terrion Arnold and Kool-Aid. So that's going to be a challenge no matter how you slice and dice it. But I guess at Bama, it's not as big of a challenge as say Vandy.
Yeah.
Jim?
Or even right now, Tennessee, because that's one of Tennessee's big issues that they're working on in camp right now is our secondary, which is just completely revamped. I think that's that's about the only position Tennessee lost people to the transfer portal. Our entire secondary left, and then we brought in a whole new secondary. So it's going to be real interesting to see who ends up winning that. I know we brought in Jermon McCoy, I believe from Oregon State. I think they're expecting him to nab one of the starting spots. He was but I think he's only a sophomore. Sophomore or junior, but either way, I think sophomore. He just had a really good, freshman season. So I'm hoping he can build on that. But other than that, Ricky Gibson, he's a guy that played really well last year. So I think that they're hoping he'll get the other spot. And then I don't know who's going to play safety, honestly. They brought in that good freshman Boo Carter, but Josh Heupel's not big on playing freshmen, so we'll see.
Right.
I like our front seven a lot, so it's really just the secondary and the defense they need to start locking down, which that's, of course, been the big Achilles heel for Tennessee the last couple of years is defense. So we need to start fixing that at some point. Other than that, it's just the development of Nico.
I was going to say newish quarterback, I should say.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's got a start under his belt, but he's new-ish.
Yeah,
so that'll be fun to kind of see him develop throughout that process.
He's still a freshman, yeah.
The Ole Miss storylines will be dealing with expectations. I mean, if you look at it like the East-West Shrine game, they had the most draft grade eligible players of any team in the country at Ole Miss. They were the leaders. I mean, the same thing happened basically for the Senior Bowl as well. So this team has the talent. They have the coaching staff to do it, but they just have to deal with the expectations and pressure of doing it in a place that's not used to having those expectations and pressure. I mean, the defensive line has a chance to be just unbelievably salty this year. And the defensive backfield, I like the idea. They brought in Trey Amos. Jake knows about him. They brought in Say Hamilton from Houston. They got a couple of ball hawks that they're going to line up. Pete Golding's kind of putting the defense together in a similar way that they put it together at Alabama when he was with Nick Saban, to where they have a couple of interior defensive linemen that's going to demand double teams. They're going to get Princely, Amon Mielin, and Jared Ivey single coverage on the outside and just say, hey, go get the quarterback. And then when that quarterback makes a mistake, throwing the ball downfield, they got ball hawks in the secondary to hopefully turn the game over and get a couple possessions back for this offense that has a chance to be really, really good. So I think the storyline this season will be them dealing with expectations, and how they handle that is probably going to go a long way to determine what they do.
Yeah, for Georgia, it's Carson Beck. Can he live up to the hype this year? He's getting a ton of it. Replacing Brock Bowers, I mean, that's quite a weapon. I mean, anytime you're replacing an alien on your offense, it's quite the big deal. And finding targets elsewhere, finding that safety net elsewhere is Oscar Delp. That guy is Ben Urasek, the transfer from Stanford at tight end. Is he going to be a dude? Like, are they going to be able to do some similar 12 personnel stuff that they've been able to do with Brock Bowers and another person like they have been the last few years? Is it going to be more 10 personnel, 11 personnel?
Yeah, I think that's a no, right? If you think about it.
I mean, I don't think
Brock Bowers basically was a wide receiver out there. He could run 30 miles an hour down the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a lot more receiver talents anyway. I think they're just reshaping a little bit the pass catching weapons instead of having a massive dude that can run. They don't have that. I mean, Oscar Delp is good, but he's, I mean, obviously not anywhere close to Brock Bowers. And
he's like Darnell Washington good. He's a really good player, but
when you're following Brock Bowers, I mean, anybody would pale in comparison to that. But you got Dominic Lovett, who seems to be kind of dominating things at the receiver spots. Arian Smith coming back for what seems like he's been there for 12 years. Thomas, Colby White, London Humphreys, some transfer guys that have come in into the receiving core are all going to be looked upon. Trevor Etienne at the running back position, where does he factor in? Is he going to be a playmaker? Defensively, it's going to be they're going to just reload it. They didn't lose a ton defensively. Is Malachi Starks going to be back in time? He's been banged up. Is he going to be ready to go? KJ Bolden, star freshman from Buford. Finally, Georgia got a kid from Buford that didn't go to Alabama. So that's going to be fun as well. And of course, everything else that Georgia was good at last year, they'll be good at again this year.
Yeah, Georgia's got the best roster in all of college football. It's not particularly close.
No.
It's they should, if you play it on paper, they should win the national title. But I also contend that they have the most chance to be the 1990 Michigan team as anybody that has been since then, to where they're 9-3 and you can't figure out how they got there.
Where it just all of a sudden you're just like, what the heck happened here?
Yeah, Texas gets them early. They lose the game at Alabama, and all of a sudden it's the middle of the season, and it's like, what are we playing for?
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, what the heck? And you're just trying to figure out kind of where it all went wrong.
Yeah.
And it'll be something stupid like, they'll have 3 turnovers or something like that, or, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
but I think if every team in college football played their absolute best, they lose to Georgia. If Georgia plays their best, nobody beats Georgia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams as well, man. He's as good of a pass rusher as you can absolutely get. And I mean, that dude is good. You're going to have a hard time containing him. So it's going to be team's best efforts and Georgia helping them a little bit based on, if Georgia plays the way they're capable of playing, that should be the case. As for Vandy, storylines, there's a lot of storylines here. What's Jerry Kill's role going to be? Like, how is he going to help? The new rules, I think, give an advantage there for him being utilized. What's going to happen at the quarterback position? How is that? I mean, obviously it's Diego Pavia, but how is it going to look? And how are they? How's their balance of run, pass, things like that going to look? Defensively, are they going to come out super aggressive? Who are going to be the emerging playmakers? I mean, we know about Langston Patterson, we know about CJ Taylor, but who are going to be the other guys? So those are just a couple of quick storylines there.
Yeah, that's pretty good that we just went over on 4 teams around the SEC or 5 teams around the SEC just real quick. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're cooking. So, like Florida, they're gonna have to find a way to help Graham Mertz. I think that's the biggest. Like, how are they going to help Graham Mertz? Because he's like it, and I don't even really believe in him.
That's a good question, Michael.
Yeah.
Are they going to have a permanent scoreboard?
They should.
They will. It's already been installed. Unfortunately,
they should keep.
So no more crane.
I like that.
Yeah.
No more swinging scoreboard on a crane.
By the way, I have an advantage over y'all. I have met in person Michael Specs.
Interesting.
Oh,
Cool.
Michael, give it to us.
He just wants the voice of God to be in picks. That's all he wants.
Don't
He
worry.
was quick.
That should be enough of it.
Yeah, he was quick to point that out. Made a video, and we sent that to Becky.
That should be enough for the voice of God. Get back. So, Becky, if you can hear me, get your butt back here. I'm gonna
Becky woke up at like 3:45. She's not hearing much of anything right now.
Ooh.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
he's like, no.
I'm gonna do you remember Scottie Pippen when Jordan was retired? He was like pointing at his shoe and he's like, "Come on back," pointing at it. It's gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Becky, here's." I don't know what I'm going to use to symbolize picks, but she'll get the point.
She just can't have too much time to think about it. We got to wait till closer to time, and then we'll convince her to come back.
Yeah, she doesn't realize it, but she's coming back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She's a celebrity, dude. Like it's all there is to it. She's a celebrity. She's got.
Listen, 3 or 4 people said she had to do picks this year.
Yeah, they want to hear from her more than they want to hear from us.
Right.
So,
yeah, Cassie can't wait for Pitts again. So
Nice.
So
about a month away.
yeah.
we're about there. But so Kentucky, what are we thinking about Kentucky? Like Brock Vandagriff, obviously new quarterback, new face, new coordinator.
You can find Kentucky in the thesaurus right next to mid.
Battle of mid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good point.
I think you're right. Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
that stands out about Kentucky right now, and I don't know, and I may just be way overthinking this and trying to find an excuse as to why Vandy's going to beat them, but there's got to be something to the fact that Bob Stoops is on TV and coaching in the UFL or XFL or whatever it's called these days.
UFL.
God, Mark Stoops. God,
There you go.
brain
There
fart
you
there.
go.
I couldn't remember his name, so I guess it's insignificant. But no, how Mark Stoops was accepted the job at Texas A&M. Like, does that have any sort of effect, or is that just in the rear view? Nobody cares. Like, does it have any lingering effect? Like, dude,
Were they so worried about getting Cal out of there at that point?
yeah. I mean, they may have just went by the wayside because they were trying to get Cal out of there, which they successfully did. But thank you, Arkansas. If you're a Kentucky fan. So yeah, I mean, I just there's nothing that stands out, and I they got a new quarterback, new coordinator, so there's going to be a learning curve there. I mean, I think their only Cadillac piece, or actually I should say Ferrari in this case, is Barryon Brown.
That guy's a dude.
Yeah.
And that guy is a absolute dude. I'm surprised he didn't hit the portal.
That was the rumor that he was.
I think he was thinking about him. He was seriously considering
I
it.
don't think he went back to Kentucky. Yeah.
Well, just know that if he'd have gotten the portal, he was coming to Ole Miss.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No.
I think Steve
He was. I mean, that's a rumor that I legitimately heard that this guy's about to get in the portal and come to Ole Miss. At the same time, I was hearing Walter Nolan and Princely Iman was going to.
Oh my God, that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, it would have.
Barryon Brown is the reason why Kentucky almost somehow won that game 2 years ago.
Yeah, against Ole Miss.
No, against Georgia.
Oh, it's the same thing, against Ole Miss too.
Yeah. I mean, Barryon Brown just took it over as a freshman.
Hmm.
Last year, Kentucky didn't have much of anything against Georgia. But this year, yeah, that game's going to be – there's not much that you can do to stop Barryon Brown. That dude's a freaking cheetah.
And that Dane Key is pretty good too now. They have decent starting 2 wide receivers.
Now they just got to figure out how to get the dang thing to him.
Mhm.
Yeah, they need running backs too.
Yeah, they need an offensive line, which we don't know much about.
Because Ray Davis doesn't have Florida to run 400 yards against.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going to happen there. They might be in for a rough season. Speaking of,
just a second before we get started, I want to take this opportunity again to make fun of Dan Mullen and tell him that I hate him and hate him with every fiber of his being because he ruined my most perfect joke of all time.
yeah,
That I loved more than anything. That was the Atlantic would beat Florida before Kentucky would, and now all of a sudden Florida can't beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
That's pretty funny.
the world is just spiting you, Steve.
Mhm.
Freaking Dan Mullen, he has done his part to ruin the better part of about 5 years of my life.
Even more so than Coach O.
Oh, Coach O, he couldn't help it.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
He couldn't help it.
That poor
Poor
guy.
guy.
He was doing the best he could with what he had.
How good was that 2019 LSU team that they won a national title with him as the head coach?
He didn't do anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
Joe Brady.
don't think his headset was plugged in.
It
No.
was Dave Aranda and,
Dave Aranda and Joe Brady.
Yeah.
and Steve Esminger. Was
he's just over there on the sideline. Look at me.
Go higher.
I was like, I got it, guys. Come here. I'll take this tape.
Dave Aranda was running that team.
Yeah, seriously. Coach
Yeah,
O,
yeah.
honest to God, if you look at it, Coach O, he's Farmer Fran from the Water Boy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yep.
He should get like some G5 job somewhere. He'd be hell on wheels somewhere in like the MAC.
Oh, I think his ideal coaching role would be like Louisiana Lafayette.
Well, he could be the mascot too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Raging Cajun. I mean, it's a perfect fit. But at that time, whenever he was looking for that, they had G5 Billy, LinkedIn Billy.
Yeah, I want to see him go to like Central Michigan.
Yeah, you remember the video that came out a few years ago with Coach O, and he was like staring down, like dead staring down those group of kids that were staring at him, talking to him, and
Yeah,
he was
because
shirtless.
He decided it's like, I'd freshly got $17 million. I know what I'm doing. I'm
Right.
going to 30A. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh, that was so shirtless.
It's like,
of all things.
good God, come on, Coach O. Don't be a stereotype.
Right.
Coach O
Yeah.
would have coached shirtless if they would have let him.
Yeah.
Oh, probably
Yeah,
would.
and if
I
it
don't
wasn't, and if Pensacola, Florida wasn't the worst drive in the history of drives to Tallahassee, Florida, if that was not the worst drive, Coach O would have been at Spinnaker's in Panama City.
Probably
Club
so. Club La Vila.
Vida. Yeah.
Definitely Club La Vila.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So let's veer away from Coach O here. So is Mississippi State going to finish last in the SEC?
I don't know, maybe.
Probably.
Like
I seriously think Vandy's about to drop 5 wins this year. I don't
see
know
any
why I
redeemable
think that.
qualities right now for Mississippi State. Like I mean, Jeff Lebby, I'm sure he's a great coach.
No,
He was a
can't
good
say that.
Huh?
He's a good coordinator. You can't say that.
That's what I'm saying. He was a great coordinator. I'm sure he's a good coach, but like we don't know him as a head coach. A, B, he took one of the probably most challenging positions you can in Power 5 football, Mississippi State, and I just don't know what they got.
Yeah.
Do they have anything?
I just
They have Blake Shapen at quarterback,
you
the
didn't hear about
Baylor
him in the
quarterback.
portal. You didn't hear about him in the portal.
But they're poor.
You don't
And
hear about him.
that's not me being insulting. I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
They held on to the way college football used to be for too long when everybody else was building it up. And now they're trying to play catch up and as quickly as they can do it. But I mean, their whole reputation, and this is not me making fun of Mississippi State, but their whole reputation is not being the rich kids at Ole Miss. That's their identity. So whenever this hops up, everything becomes about money, and they all of a sudden they're screwed. This isn't exactly a surprising situation for them.
No, at least Vandy hit the portal, and they went out and I mean, it was kind of head scratching that that their main inspiration was New Mexico State, but I mean, I guess Jerry Kill has that effect around.
Hey,
football.
10 wins at New Mexico State. You pay attention.
Absolutely.
And your quarterback suplexing an Auburn defender, and not a fluke win.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that game. Okay, let's just take a second to talk about that game. My favorite part of that game is before the game when New Mexico State was sitting there clowning on Auburn's logo and walking around their field like that was their home game, doing that in Jordan-Hare, and then they did that in the football game.
Yep.
That is Jerry Kill in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And Vandy got him. So like people don't realize that. People don't really realize how big of an impact Jerry Kill is going to have. That dude is a winner. That dude's a program builder. If he didn't have chronic seizures, he wouldn't be at Vandy, or he might be at Vandy, but he might be the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He would be somewhere as a head coach, as a very successful head coach.
Yeah, I mean, because he was at Minnesota before the seizures kind of knocked him down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, row your boat happened.
And he was an advisor at TCU for a while before he jumped to New Mexico State. He kind of got that title run started when TCU went to the national championship game. He kind of built a lot of that before he left for New Mexico State. I mean, Minnesota before Jerry Kill was garbage. They had like one good team with like Marion Barber, and then Jerry Kill took over.
It's Glenn Mason, right? I was like Glenn Campbell. No, that's not right.
Yeah, Glenn Mason. He had accepted the Georgia job, and then backed off when they hired Ray Goff.
Oh, interesting.
Like that's who they wanted. Glenn Mason.
See, I'm trying to think. It was see when Ray Goff was there. That was Garrison Hurst, right?
Eric Zier, Garrison Hurst, Andre Hastings.
Eric Zier. I saw Eric Zier in person almost get killed in a football game.
Mm.
I mean,
And
I feel like a lot of
Shit.
people can say that because he
Yeah.
got knocked around a good bit.
yeah, it was tons of fun.
And
And by the way,
Cleveland too for the Browns.
since Corey's wearing his Georgia stuff, this is my theory. Let's say Ole Miss and Georgia both come into that football game in November undefeated, right?
Yep.
I think Ole Miss needs to wear the powder blue helmets with the numbers on the side,
Yeah.
old style Johnny Vault, with the navy blue jerseys and the gray pants.
That would look good.
That would look good.
I
Georgia
do like
needs to wear
almost
the exact same thing. No, Georgia needs to wear these helmets with that face mask.
Real old school.
Yeah. No, they.
Some-
They could come out in the leather helmets.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
say
got
it.
whippersnappers.
We're gonna
I
take
think
it down, Lane.
that would be a nice nod to Johnny Vault.
We're gonna derail the lane train, huh? See?
I like the Ole Miss numbers on the side of the helmet better than like the Alabama numbers. The Alabama numbers is kind of like Times New Roman. It looks like,
Mhm.
yeah, but the Ole Miss numbers are they're different, and I like them. They're
Different
bigger.
font.
Yeah,
Michael. These three better be subscribers too. So you're not the only one around here.
They
I
are.
am.
I'm subscribed.
Steve is.
Totally. No, I
So yeah. Yeah, that'll be. God, that's gonna be a freaking war, man.
Oh, it's going to be an unbelievable game. But Ole Miss and Georgia both they've got to get there.
They've got to get their unscathed.
They've got work to do.
Mhm. Georgia's got to beat Texas in Austin. So, like, here's a storyline.
Last time Ole Miss was there, they did that. That's not that hard.
I know, right?
Lord.
Speaking of Texas and Oklahoma, like this will be the first time they've run through a gauntlet like this of a schedule. How are they going to hold up? Like, they're not used to this kind of thing. They're used to like 1 or 2 SEC type games a year. Now they're going to get 8, possibly 9, depending on who they're playing non-conference.
Yeah, Mississippi State still hasn't gotten used to it.
That's pretty sad. Vandy hadn't gotten used to it either.
Hmm.
But they hired a new strength and conditioning coordinator, so maybe.
But one of the most funny things in history right now is that Georgia's going to go and play a game at Texas in an SEC game at Texas before they went to Texas A&M and played an SEC game.
that is freaking hilarious. They were supposed to in 2020, I believe, and COVID got it. But
Are y'all playing that game on the third Saturday in October?
I think so. I don't know the
Lord, of
exact date.
course. I was trying to steal our thunder.
Hey, man. That's how we roll. This is how we roll.
That's our time.
Have you guys seen
Yeah.
what is it, October 12th? The schedule?
No.
October 12th.
Just a second.
Georgia plays Mississippi State October 12th. I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna be too bad.
Let's see.
October 12th. Oh, you do have LSU, don't you? I don't know who we have October 12th. Oh, Florida.
Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah. It's a week. So October 12th in the SEC. South Carolina and Alabama. Blah, who cares?
Alabama kills them.
Mississippi State at Georgia.
Yeah,
God,
Yeah.
God be with them.
Yep.
From this point on, though, it's pretty good football games.
It
Vandy
is.
at Kentucky. And yes,
Okay.
I do think I am considering that a good game. I'm not saying that ironically.
It will be.
Ole Miss at LSU.
Mm.
yeah. That'll be fun.
Texas at Oklahoma.
Oh,
Red River rivalry.
Red River.
Florida at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tennessee kill Florida.
That's
In
my-
Tennessee.
hmm
October 12th got it going on.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Third Saturday in October. Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Ooh. Auburn, Missouri. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Who
Yeah,
do y'all have?
Georgia has a really tough gauntlet before the their two games prior to Texas are really, really tough.
Ooh,
Auburn and Mississippi.
And I'm off that day.
Y'all
Saturday,
got
October.
Oklahoma coming in that day, don't you?
No, it's the 26th. We have Oklahoma.
Oh, you're right. The 19th y'all are off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we have Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then Georgia.
Yeah, we're off the 26th, and we come back November 2nd against Florida, the 9th at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then the mighty Minutemen of UMass.
Hey, we're off the 26th too. Nice.
Low
Tennessee or
key.
Georgia.
Low-key game of the year in the SEC, and I am not joking about this. I'm not saying this ironically at all. Texas at Arkansas. I'm telling you.
Well, just for the
Mhm.
interesting history of it.
The history and the just absolute bloodfest it's going to be, yes. But any sort of implications, probably not very big.
No. But it's a situation that Texas might come in there 8-0 and end up getting beat. I'm dead serious about that.
Yeah.
God, you want to talk about a waste of a bye week? Mississippi State has to go to Texas early on. Then they get a bye week. Then they go to Georgia. They're going to get the crap beat out of them. Then they have to wait a week to get it done again.
Jeez, that's awful.
That's mean.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's like that scene for like the Bad News Bears before they the coach comes in and turns it around. And it's like, we're just gonna get pounded.
Yeah.
We're
Then
going
they
to
have to sit for a week and just wait for the next one that they know is coming. They got no way to stop.
There's one of those situations, Daddy's gonna be home at 3 tonight and you're
Yeah.
going to get your whipping. So go to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a deflating feeling. I've been a coach in that situation. One of my teams is where you're just like
Yeah.
every week you're just like
We have a bye week this week, so everybody go to church and pray.
Yeah.
and then we're gonna get slaughtered by 50, have a bye week and get slaughtered again by 50.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah that's
No,
just me.
Auburn's got a tough 4-game stretch. You know they have Oklahoma, then Georgia, Missouri, then Kentucky. And that's a rough 4-game stretch there.
And low key, Oklahoma, for the first time in their history, has a real rivalry game at the end of their schedule,
Mm-hmm.
replacing Bedlam. Everybody liked Bedlam because it was crazy and what it had become because Lincoln Riley didn't play defense and his teams were Sherman extra soft. But Oklahoma at LSU.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
with
that's gonna be good.
the Tiger Stadium. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully that's at like noon, and then you have or 2:30, then you have Texas and Texas A&M, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's
Actually,
gonna be
this-
interesting for them.
This is
This-
going to be a really fun year with all the new teams and the new schedules and how it's going. This is going to be. I'm more excited, I think, for this season than I have been in a little while.
Well, there's a lot of
Yeah.
changes. There's going to be actual technology on the sideline, so they don't have to write on whiteboards anymore.
Lane Kiffin being able to just say, throw the ball to Jordan Watkins before the snap after he sees, instead of whistling and trying to do, y'all do realize how much of a cheat code that's going to be, right?
How many
a lot of people.
That's gonna be like
iPads?
down, up, down, up, down, up,
Yeah.
AB, start, select. That's
Yeah.
the type of stuff that we're talking about.
How
Okay,
many
left, right, left,
how
right.
many iPads is he gonna break this year by throwing in the air? Like he does with his clipboards.
Probably not many.
He will. I doubt he'd be holding one. There'll be a
Yeah.
there'll be a student assistant standing next to him holding his iPad.
That's-
Yeah, the greatest assistant linebackers coach in the history of assistant linebackers coach, Zach Arnett, is going to be on the sideline working as well.
Well, here's the thing with that, Steve, is the rule of the unlimited coaches being able to coach players. Like I talked about this 2 episodes ago, 2 episodes ago when I talked about Jerry Kill, how much of a weapon that's going to be for Vandy. But like you're going to see all of these quality control and analysts, they're analysts by title, but they're going to be assigned to a position group probably on game day, and they're going to be able to, like Zach Arnett's going to be able to pull guys individually and just stand there with them with the iPad and go like scroll through plays and stuff. Like you're going to see a lot of that because these analysts and quality control guys, they're coaches. They're either aspiring coaches or they are like at Alabama. It's the coaching rehab program.
No, Ole Miss is the coaching rehab program now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Joe Judge is an analyst for Ole Miss this year.
yeah, I mean, like he's been an NFL head coach. Like you're gonna have that guy with an iPad.
Yeah, sitting there helping out the special teams and coming up with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have that guy with an iPad going, "Hey, look at return guy, come here." Who's gonna be your returner, Steve?
Jordan Watkins.
All right, hey Jordan Watkins, come here. Look, all right, watch when this guy breaks at this angle. If you make this cut, you're to the house. Like that kind of stuff is going to be able to go on the sideline. So like the level of play is going to there. Like the amount of like there's not going to be rusty games anymore because I think there's going to be better information being relayed, which means you're going to have cleaner, crisper games, which I'm here for.
Well, also, and this is the last year of the 85 scholarship limit rule.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll be 105 next year, the end of the college football walk-on. Which does that mean Texas A&M has to retire the 12th man?
Probably.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
No,
There's still going to be walk-ons though, right?
It'll just
No,
be a Riddick.
they can't.
Like you can't exceed 105.
Yeah, it's a roster limit, not a scholarship limit. And the whole roster is full scholarship eligible. So that is essentially the end of walk-ons at the high major level. I don't know what's going to happen. Now, the one thing that I'm really interested about is college baseball. This may kill college baseball.
Yeah.
It may be over. There's no school in the country, or there might be 16 schools in the entire country that have said, hey, yeah, we're willing to pay 34 scholarships for baseball.
Does that rule applies to baseball too?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
34, 25 softball scholarships.
Yeah, that might kill softball.
Yeah, it's one of those things that on my podcast tomorrow I talked about is like this is the end of sports, and what's going to happen is
What's the
you're gonna
definition of a scholarship though?
paying for school.
Yeah.
You can have partials, right?
I-
That's considered scholarship, right?
that means you're not paying your money, and the people aren't going to come.
Baseball's like that. Baseball's been like that.
No. But that's because they had to.
Yeah.
Now that if you're doing it by choice, that's going to be used against you in recruiting. That's the way this works. If somebody has 20 scholarships and they're in the SEC, now I'm not talking about Southern Mississippi. Okay. In the SEC, you voluntarily have 20 scholarships in baseball and everybody else in the conference has 34. Everybody's going to gang up on you.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to figure out a way to get to 34 scholarships in the SEC.
Yeah, but the way you're going to get to 34 scholarships is by getting rid of the women's rifle team, by getting rid of equestrian, by getting rid of random sports.
We talked about this.
Yeah, you're going to have a point where schools are like, this is just costing us way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get rid of something to cut down on some of this expense. And you drop down to about 4 sports. The NCAA said, well, you're no longer at the minimum level of sports, so you're no longer FBS. They sue the NCAA, and they're forced to let them back in, and all of a sudden the sports minimum is out. So you have things like, I don't know, could you picture like Dallas Baptist with 34 baseball scholarships?
Wow.
I mean, they couldn't do that.
They couldn't do probably 10 full scholarships.
And if you don't do it, it's a situation to where you're probably going to have 4, maybe 5 sports that are intercollegiate sports. The rest of them are basically going to be club sports.
Yeah. Track and field's gone, dive team, golf, tennis, all that. Volleyball probably.
And because of that, the Olympics.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason the U.S. is, not the last Olympics. The last Olympics we're good at.
Yeah.
You have to remember the reason that we are as good as we are as a country in these Olympic sports is because of Title IX and collegiate training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just be privatized. They'll figure out a way.
I was going to say, we still have the Olympics. It's just We
Yeah.
won't
No,
have the
We just won't be as good, and
Yeah, we
don't
won't
find
have
a way
the-
to privatize their
stable
training.
of people.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll have the Winter Olympics at least. We're still good at snowboard and all
We have
that.
the X Games.
Yeah,
Yeah, individual sports would probably be all right.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll just privatize stuff, and they'll
Mm.
they'll find their ways around all that.
I just wish we had a better curling team because I
Yeah,
love curling.
the U.S. has proven in soccer that privatizing it doesn't work.
Yeah, they are bad at that.
Yeah.
So, because the rest of the world is good at soccer, so we have to. You can't say
I
the
know.
same with other sports.
That USA team is going to be good in a couple of years when that World Cup comes here in the U.S.
Depends on who they hire. They need to hire
Yeah.
Steve as their
Yeah,
coach.
that's the key. But
Steve will have them back healing all day long.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
I love my back heels.
Mhm.
I can just
Yeah.
and this is complete shinfo for Jeb and Jake, but I can see Tom just over there going, no. So yeah, no,
And y'all just don't even realize I was such a dick when I played soccer.
yeah, I know.
How many red cards you get?
No red cards.
Red cards? No, I didn't get red. I got several yellows,
Okay.
including one of delaying a free kick down 10 goals by kicking the ball to the other field. Now that one I probably should have got a red card if we're going to
Yeah,
be honest.
probably.
Yeah. I was like, damn, Steve. Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised I didn't get any cards. I've had my share of moments.
yeah, I had one guy. Listen, I was the oldest person out there. Haha, funny joke, Corey.
I beat it writes itself.
Yeah, I know. I was the oldest person out there, so I had to work to find any advantage I could have because once I get on the field, I'm a really competitive person. And there was some dude that was just a cocky ass for the other team.
It was a clean rating.
No, you can say that.
Yeah, and it got to the point where he was acting like it's like, okay, I don't care what happens. I don't care if we win the game. I don't care if we lose the game, but that mother is going to hate me. And that's what I did the rest of the game to the point where he had a wide open shot at goal and kicked it about 17 feet over it.
Dang.
I was so in his head. There's not many times that you just been in a person's head the way I was in that guy's head to the point where immediately after the game, he just left
Nice.
because he just did not want to see me again. Because after he would shank the ball, I'd go pat him on the back and tell him good job. I mean, that was Steve Willis top shelf asshole.
Nice.
It was impressive. I either wanted him to get kicked out of the game by punching me or being so rattled that he couldn't do anything in the game. And I had to deal with the latter.
Yeah, that was I remember that one.
Mm.
That was a lot of fun. I remember running over somebody and then they got called for the foul.
Oh, nice.
I played in goal, so like they came out and there was a ball right at the top of the box, and I came out and they were barreling down on me, and I boom just drilled them.
Hey, there was a girl because it was a co-ed league. There was a girl in a co-ed league that we're played in that played college soccer, and she was really good. I mean, she was. But we had some guys on our team because it was a co-ed league that just wanted to play, and he was not very good. And the girl took it upon herself to just embarrass him, to go around and come back.
I mean, she was about as big around as this pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was starting to play around, and she was really starting to basically feel herself on the soccer field and tried that crap on me. I just swept the leg.
Oh,
Put her down.
I put her ass on the ground.
nice.
She went face down.
Yeah. She did not do that again.
She
to
learned.
anybody. Yeah. So I do give her credit for that.
And I blocked her penalty, and I've never seen somebody so deflated in their entire lives. Because again, she played college soccer, and I'm me. I was a little bit more lean and svelte, but still, I did not look like a college goalkeeper. And I blocked her. I saved her shot with ease, and she was like, "Wait a second, this guy's not supposed to be this athletic. what the hell's going on here?
Pretty fun. I miss my pre-surgery days playing soccer. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I bet.
those are fun. Those days were
Yeah.
fun. That Murphy's-Bro League, Steve, we played in.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun before I broke my ankle.
That's the one probably where if I'd have thought about it, I'd have realized I had a brain tumor at that point. Because like somebody took me down and I hit my head on the ground and it was like, that felt weird. That felt different.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So theoretically I should have known, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
But it was so much
think
fun.
about that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
we had the Mad Russian. That dude was good. Alex. That dude was
Yeah.
good, man. I had like the game of my life though when we played again, like when he played on the other team against us the next season.
There were some decent players in that league. I don't know how we got off the rails at this point, but to hear, but yeah, it's pretty good. I guess the point is that on the soccer field, I just didn't play.
Well, you played, but
I was
he was an
who
asshole.
was it? I was Stifler from whatever that hockey movie, the Goon movie,
Yeah.
or
just
Shorzy.
just obliterating people.
Man, that so much fun. So much fun. The moral of the story is, and they generally learned, and by the time that I was in the league for a little bit, they quit doing it at all once they played us. Don't come in and try and make us look bad.
Yeah.
And showboat on us. If that happens, I believe in old baseball rules. Yeah, it's coming high and inside.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
get something. You're gonna get
Mm.
a shoulder.
You're gonna get dusted.
And I've done my share. Steve's done his share. I've run over quite a bit of people.
Tom, not so much.
Tom, not so much. But Steve, you and I took care of that. Like most of the time it was unintentional, but a few times I was like, yeah, I felt good.
Yeah, people get what they deserve. That's the great thing about sports is you can control it, and
Mhm.
karma can be real.
Mhm.
And somebody tried to do the what's the one where you kick behind your leg? The Cruyff, is that the Cruyff move?
Yeah, the Cruyff turn,
No, not the Cruyff turn. What's the no, where you like,
the Rabona.
yeah. Somebody tried to score me with a Rabona. And next time down, they hit the dirt.
Yeah, you do stupid stuff, you pay for it. You do.
So,
That's-
Jeff, nice weather we're having.
Yeah, no, that's-
Steve, that was the time
Somewhere.
where I called for a foul when I ran him over. That,
Yeah.
that was the previous time down the field. So, yeah, off the rails, guys.
Yeah.
Off the
So,
rails.
just out of curiosity's sake, besides Sam Pittman, any other coaches on the hot seat?
Billy Napier.
Shame.
Yeah.
Billy Napier, yeah.
Bill Napier, Shane Beamer for sure.
Victor
Maybe
the
Clark
Humorous,
Leah.
yeah.
I mean,
Clark Lee, no, I think he
Mm.
bought himself a year unless it's a complete disaster.
See, I figure people like Jeff Lebby and Clark Lee are given a little leeway, but
Well, this
Shane
is
Beamer's
Clark Lee's.
good on that.
This is Clark Lee's third year.
yeah.
We've gotten pretty fourth year.
Fourth year.
No, yeah, he's on.
Oh,
hot seat
Yeah,
so far.
he's in put up or shut up land.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
They need to
think
at
with
least
all the
improve
moves he made, I think he bought himself a year.
I don't
like,
know.
Unless
I
it's
mean,
a complete-
they got
Well,
to
he
win
bought
6
himself
games.
a year unless it's 2-10.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
they got to
If
win
it's
6
2 and
games.
10, no, I think 4 barely. I think 4 his seat's red hot, but they keep him. 3 gone. Anything 3 or below, I think he's gone.
I
4,
don't
anything
know.
4 and above, I think he's safe. 6 wins, he's pretty secure.
I mean, if anybody makes a bowl game, then he is definitely secure.
Bowl game, he's secure. 5 wins, he's secure-ish. 4 games, he's safe. 3 games, it'll take a miracle to come back. 2 games, for sure, out.
He gone.
Anything worse. Like if it's a total cluster, you know what? Because he overhauled everything. So
yeah.
that's why I think he's, unless it's a total disaster, he overhauled everything. So they're going to give him 2 seasons to kind of prove it. Vandy is somewhat patient. I mean, it took him 5 years to even. It took him 5 years in a disaster to fire Stackhouse.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, Vandy's just slow on firing people.
But who are they going to get? That's the thing as well.
Well, it might be why they're slow to fire.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're getting like in basketball, they're getting Mark Byington, which I mean, I think it's going to end up being a good hire, but like you're not getting any marquee names at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, James Franklin.
Well, what
Yeah,
part?
he
He,
wasn't
was,
Mark
he was
Name.
an assistant coach.
Yeah.
He was one of Ralph Regent's guys.
Yeah.
Where he ended up.
Yeah, he wasn't a marquee name then. He made himself a marquee name at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he did.
So before we get out of here today, have y'all seen Twisters?
Mm-mm.
Me and Casty is going Saturday night to watch it.
Yes, you should.
Yes. Very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get our tickets and have a date night and let the grandparents get the baby. So
Noise.
No
I
real
did.
romance, no social commentary, no politics. Perfect movie.
that is a great movie.
I didn't go in with expectations as high as Steve, but I still really enjoyed it and far exceeded them. So for me,
Mm.
And another one that's coming out that's out right now, I want to see is Long Legs. It's that horror movie with
Yeah, I wanna see
Nicolas
that too.
Cage.
yeah, I've heard
Oh,
I heard
yeah.
interesting things about that too. So
Yeah,
We're going to see Deadpool Saturday.
I want to see it. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep.
that's gonna be a fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
They're saying it's tracking to make $340 million opening weekend.
Good night. Wow.
Yeah, one of my friends in Tennessee was saying it was sold out in most theaters around there. So,
Dang.
That's the reason I was
weekend.
saying we need to buy it. I need to buy it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Speaking of things to watch, have you guys seen the show called Burn Notice?
No, my God. Have you watched it yet?
What do you think?
No. You need to. I'm
Oh
telling you.
Lord,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shows I need to watch. I need to finish Masters of the Air. I'm watching that. That's pretty.
That's a good. I watched it. Pacific. I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, Pacific seems like Pacific's on my list.
Mhm.
Masters of the Air is good. There's a
Memorial Day weekend. They had Band of Brothers playing all day, and I watched every single.
what's the
episode.
what's the
Yeah.
one with Jake Gyllenhaal on Apple TV?
Uh,
That one looks
oh, presumed innocent.
yeah, presumably.
yes, that's it.
That
I
one
watched the first couple episodes of it. I liked it a lot.
yeah, that one looks good.
I'm watching Scrubs.
Oh, Scrubs is a good show.
You know, Scrubs, The OC.
I don't want no scrub.
Firefly.
Firefly. Jake, you're too young for The OC.
Yeah. Have you already watched The Boys?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Boys is a good show too.
I made it
about.
about two seasons and it kind of fell off. So I got to wait until it ends and then I'll go back and restream it all.
You know what you know what I'm gonna start back over on? I was like 5 episodes deep and I just fell off of it. Was Game of Thrones and then House of Dragon.
Oh really?
Game of Thrones. I got about 3 seasons in before I lost touch on it, so I got to go back and watch
It's
it
just
all.
like it just became a show that like I mean, it's one of those shows like you have to pay attention to every detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wasn't paying attention to every detail because I had something going on all the
Yeah,
time.
let me go ahead and spoil the mystery. It won't pay off on most of those details at the end, but whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like they got about 6 or 7 seasons in and then just said, screw it, just finish it however you want. We don't care.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's like I'm tired of doing this.
Yeah. We don't want to do the writing thing anymore. Just make it look
I'm-
nice.
I'm still stuck on the fact that Hard Knocks is a good show and it's really not.
Oh, with the Giants? I've not been watching that. I need to see something.
I mean, most of the pro teams are doing it anyway. They're
Yeah.
doing it on their
Yeah,
own. Like it's not the allure's not there anymore.
that's true.
Like you used to get some like real inside stuff, and it used to be real entertaining because they would like focus on the stars.
Oh, there it is, Corey.
Yep, there it is. All right.
But by the way, before we get out of here, I do want to give props to Kamala Harris for trolling everybody today by getting off the plane wearing a tan suit.
I hadn't heard that.
Neither.
Okay,
Oh, God. The infamous tan suit. God.
go search that. Okay, so
Yeah.
Are these
We
the
hope
2
you
best
enjoyed what you
candidates for president? Good Lord.
I know, right? We hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you do, find us on YouTube, subscribe, After Dark channel, follow at the Stephen Willis. He is the master of the Ole Miss podcast world. You search Ole Miss podcast, and Steve is the first face, second face, and probably third face that you see with his between his morning walks and his interviews and everything, and his set that just keeps collecting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a playoff trophy?
That is a playoff trophy.
Yeah,
It has
it is a
Ole,
playoff.
Ole Miss's name on it.
Might be the closest you get.
I'm willing it into existence.
Yeah.
We'll see November 9th. Okay. Jake Thomas, if hopefully it will continue, but the best Bama show out there, in my opinion, Tide Talk Live. Him and Stacy do a phenomenal job. I don't know.
Just me now, Corey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just me now. Yeah,
It's officially official now.
it's officially official. We had our last show last night.
Well,
Well,
Tide,
me and Stacy together.
Roll Tide After Dark is in the wings here. Jake is going to host 2 podcasts before you host one.
Be 3, really.
But that one could be again about meatballs.
I mean,
true.
I'm here for it, guys.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
fine
about
with
you,
that.
but I'm here for it.
I'm
I
just saying,
I like food.
there's potential there.
Yeah, I like food, Jeb. So if you want to talk about food, go ahead.
No, it's not about food. It's about movies.
Right.
Think Porkies, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Still sounds like food. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
So-
You know the
Always
highest grossing movie, either I think filmed in Canada or about Canada. I'm not sure what it is. Was Porky's.
Wow.
well, it definitely wasn't about Canada, so it might be filmed in.
Hmm.
probably filmed in Canada. Sweet. Well, that's all we got.
Well,
You can catch me
That can't
at
be
Believe in
good.
Georgia Dogs, at Locked On Vandy. I cover the spectrum, the ends of the spectrum of the SEC. So here we go. We are out. That is it. We'll see you back here next week. Fall camp is underway. The next time we see you, we'll have plenty to talk about, and we'll go off the rails as promised. But until then, arrivederci, baby. Go Dogs and anchor down.
Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.
Roll Tide.